Much of the world does not have high-speed internet. In fact, Spectrum projects that 24% of North Carolina households do not have high-speed internet access at home. Therefore, it is very likely that some of your learners cannot access some of the online course you've created due to having low-speed internet. This session will examine some alternative ways to design a low-bandwidth course. The initial priority in design is to know your audience. Really take time to consider them. But even when you take time to really consider who your students are and what their needs are, you can't know everything about them. Therefore, before you start designing your course, consider, do they have access to devices to access online learning? What kind of devices? Many people do not have computers at home and access online courses through only a smartphone. What is their internet access like? Do they have high-speed internet? It may be difficult to identify learners with bandwidth issues, so it is important to design with them in mind anyways. It is best to try to avoid videos when possible. However, if you must use a video, upload them to your own YouTube channel, which is free to set up, so that students can adjust the bandwidth needed to view them. First, they can click on the gear and then select the quality. Once they click quality, they can select the number, and the lower the number, the lower the bandwidth needed. Consider adopting micro-learning principles. By breaking up content into smaller chunks, it can really help your students with bandwidth. For example, post shorter videos rather than one long video, or break up a large assignment into smaller documents for them to upload as needed. Use audio-only files when possible. Audio files are much smaller than video files. Text only should be your first consideration. Text uses less bandwidth than audio. If you use a PDF, make sure that it's optimized to reduce size. This link can help you optimizing your PDF to reduce its file size. Using plain text is best, and try to avoid large file pictures that slow down the course or content loading. For some smartphones, it's even possible to download the course content to view later without internet. If you have students that might be interested in considering downloading their course pages on their phones, use this website to see how. Another low bandwidth alternative is to have asynchronous discussion board conversations. When students are able to log in at their own convenience and time, sometimes they're able to find internet access, post at that moment, and then move on. Whereas if you require a synchronous discussion where everyone must be online at the same time, not all students can access those types of internet speeds needed at those particular times. Group work can be difficult for some students who don't have reliable access to internet. To ensure that all students can participate, you may want to encourage collaborative documents such as Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Students can log in when they're able to. Everyone can contribute at the time that is best for their work, life, or internet access. Instructors can also check the history to see who's contributed and what they've contributed to the document to ensure fair contribution. For students with very little or no access to the internet, consider putting readings and assignments on a USB drive. Provide alternatives for students who don't have computers to turn in work. Consider methods that can be done from a smartphone, for example, and allow them to take a photo and email it to you. On a side note, but relatable, due to the increased number of people who are moving their courses online, some of the tools and softwares and systems are being overloaded. Just recently, even Blackboard has said that in order to prepare for the increased use of Collaborate, they're going to need to disable some of the features. Be willing to think outside of the box for solutions for your students. The most important goals for this semester is that the students learn what they need to and that you focus on their learning objectives, and also that we're able to assess that learning. We hope that some of the tips that were discussed in this session were helpful for you and for your low bandwidth students. If you have other needs or you need a little more help on the subject, please submit a request for help. We have coaches that are ready to help you with short training videos, one-on-one coaching sessions, and live Zoom group sessions. You can find the link for help here.